Stop what you're doing because Remy Ma just turned a late-night talk show into a full-blown crime scene. Yes, you heard correctly. Wasn't a parody or a skit. It was Remy Ma who was allegedly caught on camera using DRs backstage as if it were part of the script. Now, tell me how a platinum-selling rapper and a so-called changed woman went from being a guest of honor to being escorted out in cuffs by 2 officers and a hairstylist who clutched her purse. Also, let's not pretend that this happened suddenly. It was supposed to be a typical night on the After Hours show with Lance Carter. You know, the one with neon lights, a jazz band. And that cheesy but charming vibe where celebrities go to plug their projects and pretend. You can literally see the regret forming in real time. The host's face frozen, the audience confused, and Remy oblivious. The big question is, was it a setup, a relapse, or has Remy Ma been living a double life the entire time? One mic in hand. And one hand in the wrong bag? The footage is real. Oh, steep? Everything was going smoothly, and Remy Ma was the main attraction. The producers were excited, the public relations team was tense, the hair was styled, and everything was planned until it wasn't the backstage Camarias. The one that nobody was supposed to see somehow leaked. We're talking about iCloud, hack energy surveillance angles. And in that footage, it's evident that Remy is seen bending over a table. No, she wasn't adjusting her microphone or fixing her makeup. She was allegedly doing something that no publicist in the world could possibly spin. Who served 6 years in prison for shooting someone over a few $100s. The same woman who once told Oprah that she had moved past violence and was now focused on empowering women is seen lifting grams of mystery powder in a green room. The footage is shocking not only because of what she is allegedly doing, but also because it was taken minutes before she was going on stage. And she was literally wiping her nose and walking into applause, as if nothing had happened. This could have been madness. But let's not forget who was in that room. Now, just as Remy finishes her moment of introspection, a young intern who is probably new and probably unaware walks in. Based on his reaction, he saw something he will never forget. He froze his mouth open and held a folder like it was a crucifix. Oh no, there were people there. A makeup artist was in the corner acting as though he didn't see anything, and a sound guy was nervously drinking water like he had just walked in on a murder. God bless this soul actually whispered, "Yo, is that before the audio cut out?" Convenient. Remy looked him in the eye and said, "You didn't see anything." It was a classic, but regrettably for her, the internet saw everything within hours of the video being leaked. After hours of the meltdown, Remy Ma wasn't so late. Back, and my personal favorite was from bars to behind bars. Some fans pulled up old interviews and club appearances where she seemed a little too vivacious. And a 2019 clip where Fat Joe trembled and asked her, "You good?" Since the After Hours show is live and there is no delay or edit button, if she had entered the stage 5 minutes earlier, we could have seen the first ever on-air intervention. Instead, we saw chaos in slow motion just before her segment started, and the audience was clapping in confusion as the band continued to play. The conspiracy theories were coming in fast during the mid-con conversation, and the show's producers were completely silent. No statement, no response, just radio static. When she eventually reappeared, you saw that walk, that smile, and it was giving me the impression that I knew what I had just done, but you'll never be able to prove it. However, the camera captured another brief moment, less than 3 seconds, of Remy backstage once more, just off stage, and visibly shaking. Whether it was nervousness or something more sinister, we'll never know. But we do know that's when everything fell apart. Security was seen whispering into earpieces. A woman with a clipboard ran past the curtain, and then the commercial cut to commercial just as Remy was about to speak. Let's stop and consider how this wasn't a Kanye Taylor moment, nor was it someone dropping an F-bomb. Rather, it was a planned segment in which she was supposed to discuss her new documentary series. Reminisce, Redemption, or Regret, ironically titled, Huh, so why was it asked? According to sources, the producers made the call mid-show, and allegedly one of the show's investors threatened to withhold funding if Remy appeared on air in that condition. Another source claims that the show's host, Lance Carter, declined to sit next to her after viewing the footage, allegedly telling staff, "If and that, dear viewers, is when the panic turned into protocol." Remy was quietly led off the property, without a scene or a scream, just 2 security guards, a publicist on the verge of tears, and a very stunned Remy Ma being led into a black SUV. And guess who was waiting at the door? Papoose, Mr. Loyalty himself, the same man who held her down during her incarceration, the same man who called her his ride or die for more than 10 years, the same man who, according to one witness, looked at you could cut the disappointment with a knife. And that's where it gets even darker, because shortly after that SUV pulled off, someone, probably a staff member, posted a blurred-out snippet of the backstage footage. It was only a few seconds long and silent, but it was enough to cause enough outrage for TMZ to post a blurry thumbnail and call it exclusive. Enough to get law enforcement involved because, well, now it's a legal matter. And guess what? That's exactly where we're going next because, well, it's a legal matter just hours after that hazy video surfaced online. The NYPD confirmed they were looking into unsettling footage purportedly connected to Remy Smith, also known as Remy Ma. You already know what that means, which is that they're not just watching, they're gathering. They're getting ready, and they might even be charging. But wait, it gets worse. The full raw surveillance clip, unedited and uncut, was leaked online through a Burner X, formerly a Twitter account called Bronx Backstage Leaks. Cute. And within 20 minutes, the video had amassed over 3. After 2 hours, it had received 2 million views and had been reposted by The Shade Room, Baller Alert, and even Barstool Sports, indicating that they too wanted a piece of this mess. When TMZ posted a censored version of the story, titled Remy McCaught, Behind the Scenes Breakdown Sparks Police Interest, it was game over, and news outlets began treating this as a criminal investigation rather than a cutesy slap on the wrist. We're talking serious charges of drug possession, endangerment, and probation violations. And according to an anonymous source close to the DA's office, we're not just, if you think this is just some tabloid drama, let me break it down for you. The After Hours show was filmed inside a major network building, which means government oversight and federal jurisdiction. This means Remy Ma didn't just possibly commit a crime. She did it on network property. According to sources, the security team is rushing to find out who entered, what they brought in, and how the footage even got leaked in the first place. One producer who wished to remain anonymous stated, "It wasn't just Remy. We all messed up. This could take down the whole season." The worst part is that there are rumors that the FBI may become involved, because the substance that was caught on tape isn't just your typical party favor. Several gossip accounts are claiming that it was a schedule-controlled substance, the kind of thing that gets people in federal courtrooms, not just rehab centers. Meanwhile, the public has turned this into a theatrical mess, as evidenced by the Twitter threads, analyzing the precise angle of her pinky in an attempt to ascertain intent. Toke detectives are comparing this film to previous Remy interviews in order to monitor behavioral changes in one video with more than one. The video, which has received 7 million views, literally ends with a girl saying, "You can't tell me she wasn't on something during her Wendy Williams appearance in 2021. Look at her eyes." It has turned into a real-time cultural investigation, meme war, and digital manhunt. But that's not all 12 hours after the video first appeared. Papoose reappears. You hold someone down for years. He posted a now-deleted Instagram story with just plain black text on a white background. There were no tags or context, just heartbreak. But that one post sent fans into overdrive, wondering if he was done with her, if the divorce rumors were true, or if he knew what she was doing all along. That's when things really kicked off, because minutes after that story vanished, Clarissa Shields, Remy's known nemesis, posted a mysterious tweet that simply read, "Cue Karma Girl." Not only was it messy, but for example, just 2 weeks ago, Clarissa publicly accused Remy Ma of living a double life. Fans laughed and called it petty ex energy, but now they're revisiting that claim as if it were a prophecy. As if that wasn't enough, Fat Joe went on Instagram Live and attempted to do damage control keyword, looking like a man trying not to admit he was blindsided. You all know Remy, I know Remy, we've been through it, but let's not. Judge before the facts come out. But baby, the facts already came out. And they came with high-def video and a possible arrest warrant. Even The Breakfast Club got involved, with Charlemagne opening the show with "If the footage is real," and it looks very real. Then we've got to ask what Remy's running from, because it's not accountability. In the meantime, several outlets reported that Rhee's team has now hired a crisis PR team, and that she is allegedly thinking about checking herself into a private treatment facility for exhaustion. Oh honey, that old trick? And here's the exclusive. T. According to a leaked direct message between a verified stylist and a blogger, Remy wasn't even supposed to be on the show, allegedly. She demanded a last-minute guest list spot after her team pleaded with producers for a quick win to change public perception after her rumored fallout with Papoose. This wasn't just a last-minute PR stunt. It turned into a public relations disaster. As if things couldn't get any worse, one of the show's backstage crew posted a TikTok saying that they warned the producers beforehand, saying that she came off like she was shaky. I asked my boss, sweating and babbling, "Are we sure she's good to go on camera?" They said, "It's Remy Ma. She'll pull it together." Okay, well, she didn't. And now the consequences are piling up like unfiled paperwork. And we're talking about possible breach of contract lawsuits. One of the show sponsors, Glowfinity Cosmetics, has already removed all Remy-related promos and quietly released a statement stating that they support safe, empowered women and will no longer collaborate with artists who compromise that mission. Somehow, things continue to get worse because, according to unverified reports, Remy Ma has been officially banned from the network studio lot until further notice. That's correct. She has been suspended and banned. This, my friends, brings us to the last piece of the puzzle, because when public opinion, legal action, and betrayal collide, you better believe that's the recipe for a full-on fallout. Now that the cameras are off, the damage is done, and Remy Ma is facing the biggest scandal of her career, which is remarkable given that her rap sheet is already longer than a CVS. The Manhattan District Attorney's Office formally confirmed 48 hours after the video went viral that they are looking into recent allegations related to an incident at the After Hours show studio involving a well-known figure. Translation: Remy Ma is being investigated for criminal charges. And the charges include possession of a controlled substance, tampering with a live production set, endangerment, violation of parole conditions, and possibly intent to distribute. Yes, that last one was allegedly heavily whispered behind closed doors. According to what the DA claims to have reviewed, the substance in the leaked footage wasn't for personal use, so this isn't Remy Ma slipping up backstage anymore. Instead, moving merchandise while scheduled for a mainstream network appearance. To make matters worse, she's still technically on supervised release from her previous incarceration. Sources close to the case say Remy's legal team is now working around the clock to negotiate a voluntary surrender in order to prevent a public takedown or a surprise arrest, because, let's face it, nobody wants to see Remy Ma in handcuffs. In addition to possible criminal charges, Remy may now face a multi-million-dollar lawsuit from the network for reputational damage, safety violations, and violating studio protocol. You thought that was the end of it? Think again, because government watchdog groups are now involved. CBS Studios, the company that owns the rights to the After Hours show, recently released a formal statement announcing a zero-tolerance drug policy breach that could result in civil litigation. The FCC has received numerous complaints from viewers who feel that something was wrong during the taping and want to know why a potentially impaired guest was allowed to perform. Not to mention that Ree's segment never aired, but the audience was present and some of them had already spoken out. In documents shared by investigative journalist Lexi Monroe, TikTok user Shay from Harlem posted a 3-part video titled "I Was There When Remy Ma Got Snatched." In the now viral video, she makes the claim, "We heard yelling backstage, then everything just stopped." In the meantime, back in the world of rap and celebrity gossip, everyone is turning their backs on brands, sponsors, and even close friends. You may recall that documentary series Reminisce, Redemption, or Regret, which was supposed to rebrand her image and finally tell her story, but it was quietly pulled from the air. The host announced that the show was ending early and that we didn't even get our Q&A session. To make matters worse, one audience member has allegedly filed a lawsuit, claiming that they suffered emotional distress after witnessing Remy being escorted out in the middle of her breakdown. We are still dedicated to telling strong, inspirational stories, but in light of recent events, this project no longer aligns with our values. A statement issued by HBO Max, which is available on all streaming platforms, said, "Nobody wants to be next to a sinking ship, especially one that's leaking evidence." An insider told Rap Report Weekly, adding that her honorary segment at the BET Awards was cut. The magazine cover she was supposed to land next month was pulled, and her own rap peers there were running faster than fans at a Travis Scott concert. Speaking of evidence, guess who is now working with the police? The intern. Yes, the same young man who entered and caught Remy in the middle of the action, allegedly gave police a written statement outlining exactly what he saw and attesting that this wasn't the first time. Let's put the facts straight. Remy Ma faces potential jail time. Her marriage is in ruins. Her reputation is damaged. And even the streets have begun to whisper that she's done this time. Don't get it twisted, though. Ms. Smith is currently undergoing evaluation and will be entering a wellness facility for exhaustion, personal recovery, and mental clarity, her PR team said in a carefully written statement, going down without trying to spin the narrative. Since no criminal attorney has yet to confirm that she has entered treatment, this evaluation may simply be a fancy Airbnb with security cameras turned off. She thanks her fans for their unwavering love and support. "Girl, we've heard this script before and it's PR rehab, not to be confused with actual rehab." One blurry paparazzi photo of Remy Ma ducking into a blacked-out Escalade went viral, and fans immediately zoomed in like it was a Zapruder movie. One user literally wrote, "Enhance. I swear that's a bracelet from the county. Oh, and check that. Wrist." Others weren't very funny. One tweet went viral saying, "From love and hip-hop to chain and shackles. Y'all, the internet has no chill." And the last nail in the coffin was Papooses' cryptic Instagram post, which turned out to be more than just heartbreak. The fairy tale is over, the image is shattered, and Remy Ma, once hailed as the queen who rose from prison to platinum, has fallen harder than ever before. As she awaits her fate, indictments, hearings, and media firestorms, one question remains. Is this the end or just the beginning? Foreshadowing Papoose has officially moved out, according to multiple sources close to the couple, who also claim he's already removed his belongings from their shared home and has been spotted house hunting, alone in New Jersey. We want to know what you think. Was this a setup, a cry for help, or has Remy been spiraling behind the scenes the entire time while pretending everything was under control? Is she being unfairly targeted? Or is this the beginning of something even darker? Because if you think this is crazy, baby, just wait until the wiretaps drop. Here we are. Remy Ma, once the queen of comeback stories, is now the face of a full-blown scandal. From a talk show taping to viral footage, a possible arrest, and her entire brand crashing like a beat drop. This could be the biggest celebrity downfall of the year. You're here for the chaos, the receipts, and the truths these celebrities wish remained hidden. Then hit the like button, subscribe, and turn on your notifications so you never miss another in-depth look at the gossip spill vibe. Trust us, if it leaks, if it exposes, if it destroys a career, we'll be the first to break it. Finally, karma cashing in. Share your theories in the comments. Was Clarissa correct all along? All along?